Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and I have two very special guests today. Well, one of them's kind of special. The other one, No, I have two very special guests, and both of them are my dear friends. One is the legend, Joey Caps. He is back with me. And the other one is a legend, too, in his own time. It is Scott, the Intruder Gaming. How are both of you guys doing? Scott, how are you doing, man?
Oh, well, I am just honored to be here. Thank you so much, King, for having me.
Absolutely. I wanted to get your views on Wastelanders. I know you love Fallout 76, and I wanted to hear what you had to say on Wastelanders. And Joe, also, I know you love Wastelanders. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I have a nice, messy cheeseburger in front of me with some fries, so I'm doing good, King. I'm doing good.
You're eating on the KingCast?
I gotta eat dinner, King. I gotta eat some dinner.
Well, I'm glad you take my podcast so seriously, Joe. And yes, my Mississippi Queen, I am running a little bit late, but that's not my fault. It is one of these guys' fault, but I'm not going to say which one.
I'll take responsibility. It was me, Scott, Intruder Gaming. I did it.
I wasn't going to say which one. Hello, everybody. Gentugo, Dan, Mickey, Danny Ray, Manos, a bunch of people jumping in. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Y'all hit that like button, everybody. Eric, hey, everybody. All right. The way we always do, we hit some quick gaming first, but I know that Fallout 76 Wastelanders has dominated the gaming news this week. Of course, that's what's going to dominate today's KingCast, but I do have just a couple of things to go over real quick before we move on. Hey, Psycho as well. Hey, James. Hey, Pyro. First of all, there was a top 10 list that was released this week of BioWare's all-time RPGs. Now, first of all, I want to give these 10 games and see if you kind of agree, see if you like these games. And then I want to ask you guys if you think Bethesda's top 10 could compete with these, or if these games could compete with Bethesda's top 10, okay? So these are BioWare's top 10 RPGs of all time. Number 10 was Star Wars: The Old Republic. It was a good game. Y'all can say anything if you want to. Y'all can just jump right in.
Yes, it was freaking awesome.
Baldur's Gate was number 9.
Okay.
Mass Effect 3, number 8. Jade's Empire, number 7. I don't know anything about Jade's Empire. Number 6, Dragon Age Inquisition. Very good game. Number 5. Now, this one blew the list for me because this game was spectacular. How they put it number 5, I have no idea. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. How can that be number 5? That was an awesome game.
Yeah, I agree.
Mass Effect 2, number 4. Dragon Age Origins, number 3. Dragon Age 2, number 2. And then Mass Effect, number 1.
Okay.
Do you agree with those just off the top of your head? Or those, what do you think about that list? Joe, what do you think?
See, me, I've don't kill me.
Yeah, okay.
I've never played any of those games.
Well, hey, there's a Bethesda channel, so it's okay.
But from what I've heard that Mass Effect 2 was a better game than the first Mass Effect. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. Is that right?
I would say that, yes. And I really don't agree with Dragon Age Origins either as number 3. But,
yeah, I don't remember that game getting a lot of love in the beginning.
Yeah. But again, Knights of the Old Republic, number 5. I mean, that's like a masterpiece. But that's just. I agree, Mickey. I agree. That's one of the best ones, and they've got it. You know, they've got the Old Republic number 10 and Knights of the Old Republic number 5. But now this is my real question, since this is a Bethesda channel. Okay, that is BioWare's top 10. Do you think Bethesda's top 10? Think Bethesda's top 10 RPGs, and we're not going to list them, but just start listing them in your mind. You've got Skyrim, you've got the Fallouts, you've got. Could these top 10 line up with Bethesda's top 10? Would it even be a comparison? Scott, what do you think?
Definitely KOTOR. Yes, Knights of the Old Republic would definitely be able to hang with Bethesda's games.
That one would, absolutely. They've got a couple that would, but I think Bethesda's list would blow this list away. Now maybe I'm Bethesda biased. I mean, come on.
Well,
there's not.
I played the 2 Star Wars games, okay, and Mass Effect 3, okay, and so I can't speak for the other games. I really can't. But I can definitely speak for Bethesda's games. There's a reason I play Bethesda's games mostly and a few various other games here and there, but not those games in that list.
Look, look what Mickey says and look what Mano says, and I agree with both. Mickey says Fallout 3, best game ever to me, and then Mano says Skyrim alone competes with all those games. Come on, I mean it's Skyrim. Skyrim and Fallout 3 blows any of these away. That's in my opinion. Joe, what do you think?
Sales numbers. Skyrim is like one of the top 15 best-selling games of all time.
Of all time. Come on, Joe, chime in here.
I don't think you have Skyrim, which it's in a league of its own.
It's in a league of its own.
You have Fallout 3, which every Fallout fan loves.
Yep.
And which made you want Fallout 4.
I was about to say, look what Fallout 4 did financially.
On day one.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. So, in my opinion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and then maybe Mass Effect. But do you include New Vegas, or are we just talking BGS games? Are we talking Morrowind too? Is Morrowind above Mass Effect?
You have to include New Vegas because Bethesda published it. It's a Bethesda game.
I think Mass Effect is 5th after those 4 games.
Yep.
After Skyrim, after 3, after New Vegas, and after Morrowind, then I guess Mass Effect.
Yep. I agree. They have some games that can hang with them, but I think Bethesda's top 10 wins. Okay, on to the next one. Again, this has got to be quick hits. Number 2, this one is funny. Did y'all hear that a Seinfeld? Y'all know who Jerry Seinfeld is, right? You know the old Seinfeld show. There is a Seinfeld adventure game might become a real game. 2 developers are looking into the idea of having to launch a Seinfeld game. In fact, they've actually created a SeinfeldGame.com to pitch the idea. Well, what do you think about that? Now that's going to be fun. Well, what would you do in a Seinfeld game? The TV show was a show about nothing. What's the game going to be about? Nothing. Okay. This next quick hitter.
Steer clear of that.
Yeah. This next quick hitter is all for Joe. Joe, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
My internet's going in and out, so.
No. It's for you because you love MLB The Show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well.
There was an MLB the Show player that was upset. This is hilarious. He was upset with the picture choice that they chose for him. Texas Rangers third baseman Joey Gallo takes issue with the photo that Sony chose for him. So Sony chose a picture and put it in the game.
Yeah.
And this guy don't like it. In fact, he made a statement. He said, Sony did me dirty. Now y'all can go look it up and see the picture that Sony chose. And y'all may think that this guy is being a jerk. I don't know anything about Joey Gallo. Is he a good guy? Do you know anything about this guy, Joe?
Joey Gallo is one of the premier power hitters in baseball.
Okay. But I do know about people doing other people dirty with pictures.
Oh, geez. Okay. Okay.
I had somebody do me dirty with a picture not too long ago.
No. No.
Well, I did a podcast with a guy.
I saw the picture you're talking about.
Yeah, and this other guy put this awful picture of me on a podcast.
Who would do that?
It was like the worst picture you'd ever seen of me.
What a jerk!
It was pretty bad. Yeah, he did me dirty.
Well, let's take him out back and beat the crap out of him.
What a jerk! Yeah.
So
that's funny.
So I feel for Joey Gallo. Okay, on with the nonsense. See, 10 minutes. We did the quick hit gaming in 10 minutes. There wasn't much gaming news this week other than Fallout 76 Wastelanders. That has huge news this week. So let's talk about Fallout 76, guys. That's what everybody wants to talk about anyway. A year has passed, and here we are a year later. Fallout 76 comes out. I put the title a complete success ? Because the reviews are coming out for the first time. Fallout 76 has a mostly positive review on Steam. Yay! Finally. And most of the reviews are coming out positive. So, Joe, is Wastelanders a complete success?
Of course. Of course it is. Now, if you put, like, imagine Fallout 4 without no NPCs. Is it still Fallout 4? No. But now, I enjoyed 76 for what it was. I did. And you needed a bit of an imagination. But I enjoyed 76 for what it was. But now, you're adding NPCs in it and a great story? My gosh. I think this could be better than Fallout 4, to be honest with you. They did a fantastic job with Wastelanders. Fantastic job.
Scott, what do you think? Is Wastelanders a complete success?
Okay, 90% like this video game on Google. 4.5 rating on Google. Mostly positive on Steam. Yeah, it's the success that Bethesda was hoping for in November of 2018.
That's awesome. Thank you for those statistics. That, and we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago that Bethesda needed Doom to be a success and Wastelanders to be a success, and they hit both of them out of the ballpark.
Yeah,
which is huge.
You remember a week ago, King, when we were playing Fallout 76, and I confided in you and telling you that I was worried about Wastelanders.
Yeah. And now here we are.
Now I'm like, wait, why was I worried? What was my problem?
Yeah.
Unwarranted anxiety.
Yes. Well, some of us that's been with it from the start, we've heard so much unrelenting hate over and over and over and over that, we're a little tentative. Psycho just said, to be honest, I prefer 76 over Fallout 4. I'm hearing that more and more now, especially since the NPCs have been added. And I want y'all to remember, this is for later on in the show, but I keep reminding you guys, I know it hasn't been said yet, but it's going to be said. Somebody's going to say, well, is this all the content? Remember, what we have right now is just the base game. There is more content coming, and it's going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So, again, this game, there is no limits to what this game can be. That's what's so exciting. Fallout Wastelanders, what we have right now is just the base game. So much more content is coming. That's what's so very exciting to me. And I, as much as I've played in the PTS, you may think, well, you've done everything, King. I have not. I've still not done everything. That's what's so amazing with this game. Joe, have you done everything yet?
Of course not.
No. I mean, I've done the main quest. I've done the main companions. I've done those main things, but there's still a lot of things that I haven't discovered, a lot of things that I haven't done. Like I'm still trying to get the well. I'm still trying to get the ammo maker for my camp. You know, there's still little things like that I'm trying to get. And again, I know there's a lot of people that are not going to be through with the content that they have, especially people that started Wastelanders with a new character. They're not even going to be close to being finished by the time that new content hits. And, you know, that won't be very long. So that is so very exciting for the franchise, especially with the positivity that is coming in. Well, with that said, with that positivity, let's talk about what is new. How much new content did they put into Wastelanders? Scott, what have you seen new? I know you've said you haven't done much with Wastelanders yet, but what have you seen new with Wastelanders?
First off, the church in Flatwoods is considerably cleaned up. Bodies are moved to different places.
Yeah.
So things have changed.
And there's an NPC there.
Yes. Yeah. There's NPCs everywhere. You hear some talking, you turn around and there's an NPC over there scouring through some garbage somewhere. Or you're come up on a city and all of a sudden you see some NPCs and you look, oh wait, they're red. Oh wait, they're going to start shooting at me. So there's new enemies.
I actually wasn't going to say anything about this, but we were playing last night with Lone Vault Wanderer, and I was helping him get his backpack. He had never gotten his backpack before. And of course, now it's real easy to get your backpack. All you got to do is go to Morgan Airport. And it's so neat how they put NPCs into the old storyline. Like there at Flatwoods Church, there's that girl with the little dog, you know, that will talk to you.
Yep.
If you're just starting the game. And I'm giving a little spoilers here, so close your ears if you don't want to hear. But there's also an NPC up in the airport as well. And it was kind of neat to hear the Lone Vault Wanderer say, oh, there's an NPC up here. And I said, yes, isn't it neat how the developers actually used NPCs to make the old story and Wastelanders come together? I mean, it's just so neat how they did that. They didn't just do it in one place. They did it in several places to make the old story and Wastelanders just fully mesh perfect. They did so well, and that old guy will actually tell what happened with the responders. And he actually makes it a much sadder. I mean, he really tells the story of what happened to those guys. It's really sad. You know, I mean, the holotapes did a great job if you listen to them, but he really brings it out great. So, that was just a great moment to let that come out. Joe, what have you seen new in the game?
The thing is about the NPCs, I think they did a good job with. Now I know people, think there are a lot of NPCs, which there's a decent amount. I think they did a good job with integrating them and with not overpopulating the wasteland with too many NPCs. Like you might run and see a scavenger here, a scavenger there, but it's not like there's multiple cities or towns. Like it's not like there's a ton of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they didn't overpopulate, but they added where they needed to add, and they did an excellent job. They did an excellent job with this, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. And now I know we're really going further down the line, but I can't wait to see what they have for Fallout 5, because you're seeing Wastelanders.
What?
You saw Far Harbor with Fallout 4.
Why are you jumping to Fallout 5? Why don't you just think about the next?
Wait, hold on. No.
What about the next content in Fallout 76?
We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about Fallout 5 now, because they're doing such a great job with Wastelanders.
That's true. They're
doing such a great job with it.
Yeah, that's true.
So why would we worry about Fallout 5? Because people after 76, and let's face it, I love 76, but it's the popular opinion. People weren't too fond of it because it was much different.
Right.
And now all of a sudden Bethesda produces this, and it's great. So just look at what they could do. Fallout 5 is going to be really good. Look at Starfield. That's going to be great. Elder Scrolls 6, that's going to be great. So BGS, I say it all the time, BGS has never, ever, ever put out a bad game. What makes you think that they would have made 76 settle for the reputation that it has? They didn't. And we have Wastelanders, and it's great. Yep. So anybody that's worried about the future of BGS, because there's a lot of people who are, stop it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Stop it.
The Nana Gamer says something really good. Don't forget to talk to these random settlers because they will give you things. I've had them give me ammo. I've had them give me magazines. I've had them give me all kinds of things. So stop and just talk to them. And if you talk to them long enough and nice enough, I talked to one guy and I had to talk to him quite a while. But he gave me all kinds of things because he said I was his kind of guy. So, you never know what they'll give to you. So, talk to those random people out in the world. You never know what a conversation will lead to. So, other new things, and there are so many new things, and things have changed so much. Of course, there's new currency. We have the gold bullion. We have the treasury notes. So there's a lot of new things that we have to get used to. There are new events that are in the world, like Radiation Rumble. If you don't know anything about that, that's on one of our live streams. We did that. That is a crazy event, by the way. There are new outfits, new armors, new weapons, new plans, new enemies, like the Wendigo Colossus, that 3-headed beast. That is a crazy thing. So the list really goes on and on and on of all the new things that they have added to this world. And again, the good thing is, if anyone says this is all the content, again, this is the base game that they're going to keep adding to. And I really think the world is the limit. Who knows what they're going to add to? And as Joe was kind of talking about, and we have talked about in our podcast, I think 76 is going to be a test ground for Fallout 5 and for future BGS games. If you understand what I'm talking about. Somebody was talking about driving vehicles or pets or things that might show up in other games. Fallout 76 would be a perfect place to test certain things that might show up in other games. What do you think about that, Scott?
I mean, okay, so Wastelanders came about as a response to feedback from the community, right?
Yeah, that wanted online components.
At least that's what they say.
Yes.
Unless you believe the conspiracy theories and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. But yeah, I mean, why not get direct feedback from your audience? Why not get direct feedback that you can change on a daily basis? It's like, here, do this. Here, don't do this. And you get enough of each. It's like, okay, let's do this and let's not do this. So yeah, I mean, feedback is what makes the world go round.
Oh, absolutely.
It's how we're able to play games. Feedback is 100% critical to be success in anything. So,
and that has been one of the greatest things that I've seen with this game. They listen to the community. They have been listening to the community for a year. They've been changing Fallout 76 all along. Now, the haters haven't been able to see it because they haven't added NPCs until now. But Fallout 76 has been changing for the good ideas coming into the game. Just keep giving them to Bethesda, and Bethesda will put them into the game. There's no doubt. I mean, if there is any chance at all for Bethesda to put them in the game, then Bethesda will put them into the game. Joe, don't you see it that way? I mean, Bethesda's been very willing to listen to the community in this game.
Yeah, for sure. They've handled this incredibly well.
I mean, we saw them do it with Fallout 4, like you said, with Far Harbor. You used that example, but I've never seen them this receptive to a community before.
Well,
and maybe it's because it's a live service game.
The thing is with this game, with 76, it has its hardcore fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of people crying about it not being a traditional Fallout game. And they come out with this. And it's great. So they listen to them. They listen to the popular opinion, which was
they gave us curtains. That's right. They gave us curtains. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got excited.
But yeah, no. And then they produced this, and people were worried. Scott said he was too, and it's like they did a great job. A+. It just put 76 to another level now.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what Wastelanders did.
Yep.
And I appreciate it. Now the one thing I want them to do for Wastelanders, King and Scott, I want them to add more allies. I just don't want to have one ally out chilling. I want to have Beckett. I want to have multiple people there. Because why not? I wonder if they're going to try and do that in the future. I think that would be cool.
I think what we're going to see, talking about the pets, I believe we'll probably see pet companions. We'll probably see robot companions. I think those two we'll definitely see in the future. I have heard little rumblings about those anyway. For a long time, even before Wastelanders came, we heard the rumblings of robot companions and animal companions. So I believe those may be on the horizon. So if we could have those in addition to the NPC companions, wouldn't that be great? And maybe you could take the robot companion and the animal companion with you out into the world.
Oh, yeah.
Now that would make it really great. And, your NPC would stay there at your camp. That would make it really great.
As long as they're essential. As long as they're set as essential.
You don't want to lose dog meat. Yeah. Don't die, dog meat.
Dog meat. Oh,
no dog meat.
Dog meat died in Fallout 3. Like, I don't want her puppies. I want dog meat.
My video is going to be demonetized because we're talking about dog meat dying. So
sounds like a personal problem there, Cake.
Yeah. What do y'all see then with Wastelanders? Where do y'all see it going next? And I want to get the audience involved here. I know, and I hope we're one of the first ones talking about that here on this podcast. Where do you see it going next? Because I really think Bethesda's already working on it. I honestly do. I believe they're working for the future. I believe they're already hard at work planning on it. Not planning. I think they already have it planned. I think they're working on it. What do you think is the next big step for Fallout 76? Scott, I'll let you go first. Where do you think, what direction do you think they should go, or where do you think it's leading?
I think right now would be a good time to, let everybody play and assess type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, we have things we want to do, but assess, make sure you continue listening to the feedback. Don't just, go in a direction. Make this be a part of, a meandering river. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not just a straight line. So I think that the best thing that Bethesda could do is to, watch how things go right now, and celebrate, because this is a big win for BGS.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be willing to bet. I'd be willing to bet that everybody was like, gave out a collective sigh of relief.
Oh, absolutely. No, there's no doubt about that. But you can go back and I'll pull the footage and make a video on this. And I'll show you also, they are bringing out new stuff every Tuesday, which I give them credit for. They do not miss it. And sometimes they do even more than that, but they bring stuff to the Atomic Shop every Tuesday, brand new stuff every Tuesday to the Atomic Shop, which is great. They're bringing new events to the world all the time. We already heard we do know this, that the Foshnot Parade is coming back. They're working on that update, so that is coming next. So that is a big thing. That's the next thing that we know. So at least we know we're getting that. But I know this company is not going to rest on, hey, we've done good, let's just sit back and do nothing. And I know that's not what you were saying, but from the very start of this game, they knew a live game like this, that it lives or dies with new content, and they are going to feed it new content. And I believe they're already working on that new content. And I believe this is just going to energize them with new content, to make more new content. In fact, it would be hard for me if everybody was down on my game to make new content. This would energize me to want to make new content if I was a developer. Joe, do you have an idea of where they might go from here?
Well, while playing this, you hear that some of the raiders are from the pit, right?
Dressing companions?
Yeah, so...
Say again, Joe?
You hear that some of the people in the Wasteland are from the pit.
Yeah,
right?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we could revisit that? The pit?
Yeah. So you
see, that would be cool.
So you want to go outside the map. You want them to expand the map.
Of course I do.
Yeah. You've always...
I would love to see DC what it was.
Oh, me too. Me and you have always talked about going back to Washington, D.C. That would be awesome.
It would be cool.
Yeah. Now, I see that as another major expansion. That would be another, probably like an E3, showcase, big thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a year away or 6 months away or something like that. I would love to see them introduce, another cryptid, another, like they did the Sheep Squatch. Love that quest line. Just another faction, like somebody said up in the comments, some friction between the factions, a quest line between the factions. They could go anywhere. The rise of the Enclave, they could go so many places. Timmy says, I want tigers. Somebody else said they wanted the horses. No, not Bethesda and horses. No. But you see, there's so many places that they can go. And I love the factions. I've always loved factions in Fallout games. And, you have all the minor factions in Fallout 76 now, which reminds me of the minor factions in Fallout New Vegas, which is one of the reasons I love Fallout New Vegas. So I would love to see that interplay between the factions. You have the cultist and all these, instead of them just being, and I'm trying to say things so I don't get demonetized, instead of them just being fodder, have actually a quest line with them in it. Does that make sense? Go ahead, Scott.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, taking something that's like played a small part before and turning it into something that plays a huge part, or
learning their backstory. Having a little quest line with them. Yeah. Right. Nana says it would not be nice to see something actually done with the responder, the Enclave. Absolutely. I would love to get into the backstory of some of them, or actually, would love to see more responders actually rise up and see that group actually become bigger and become a actual faction again into the Wasteland. Hey, Kane, it's good to see you in. Let's see. I know I've not been reading near as many comments as I should. Mano says, I bet the actual Brotherhood and Enclave will be appearing soon as an actual people from those groups. See, that's another thing. Surely within the timeline of Fallout, you're going to have a rise of the Brotherhood and Enclave. You've got to pretty soon. You know, we're a year now after the bombs dropped. You know what's going on the other coast. So you kind of know what's going on in the world. So you're going to have the rise of those two groups because you kind of know the friction and all that's going on. So it's just, I just get excited to know what might go on here in West Virginia. It's just so exciting. Go ahead, Joe. I'm dominating the talk here. Anything else you can think of where they might go?
Well, I had a random thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a random thought. Now
you normally do, and I like your random thoughts.
Yeah. So here we go.
Yes.
I thought about this last night, right? So what if in, let's say, Fallout 5, which will take place in 2295. Okay. Years and years and years after Fallout 76.
And where's it going to be at? Where's it going to be located?
No idea.
I thought you said it was going to be in New York.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
So anyway, imagine, so there's a bunch of theories that in Fallout 4, Deacon is the protagonist from Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine Fallout 5. If you meet the protagonist, or let's say the player that is, you know, from Fallout 76. Now you're saying, how the heck is that possible? That's hundreds of years after. Well, maybe they took the serum that Jack Cabot had. You know? Huh?
Huh?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How cool would that be? I think that would be pretty cool if they did something like together. You know? Yeah. I just think that would be cool.
Well,
every cryo too, of course.
Well, every one of us are pretty mutated.
Video, Joe.
You know, me and Scott were talking about it. How many Fallout games are you this mutated in? You know, 76. Yeah. We are so mutated.
We're so hopped up on mutations. Yeah.
So, you know, who knows? I mean, it's almost like we're ghoulish by the time we're ending Fallout 76. Because
that too, yeah.
I mean, I've got 7 mutations that I'm working on. You know, so yeah. Kane, you don't have any mutations? Wow. I was like that for a long time, and then I didn't know what I was missing. Yeah, it was wild.
Me too.
Yeah, it was wild. So, Fallout 76, where it goes from here, I think it goes up. I really do. I think they've got a strong foundation, which is what they needed. And I'm going to say something. I said it on the live stream. I'm going to make it public record now. I was in the PTS. I did my job faithfully. I can now talk about it. I'm not under a NDA anymore, so I can say it. There were a lot of bugs because that's what a PTS is for. It shocked me beyond belief that they said April 7th was when they were going to release it. I was like, because, man, it was not ready when they said that. They did an absolute unreal job to get it ready. I cannot fathom the amount of work they did to get that game ready. Because when I started in the PTS, guys, it was really buggy. I mean, you would get on it and stay on about 3 minutes and it would kick you off. It was so buggy.
Wait, let me stop you right there, King. You're saying that there are bugs in a Bethesda Game Studios game?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But the wild thing is, guys, and I know there's still bugs. There's always going to be bugs, especially in an online game. But we literally did 5 live streams in 2 days and didn't run into a bug, didn't run into a major glitch or anything. And most of those live streams were 2 and 3 hours long. It was wow.
Can I say something about bugs and computer programming? Okay, so I was a computer science major in college, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And any time you have any computer code, okay, computer code relies on something called logic. Okay. And you have to have your logic just right in order for it to work just right. Okay. And so most bugs, there's a few random glitches here and there, but most bugs are dependent upon your logic. And if your logic is flawed, sorry, I'm not being Spock, but if your logic is flawed, then you have a bug. So you have to go back through and go through step by step on your logic, And if you have millions of lines of code, do you know how hard it is to go through reading millions of lines, like in a book, let alone on a computer screen? So you have to go through all this stuff to pull bugs out. So bugs are inherent in any computer code. And guess what a video game is made out of?
Yeah.
Computer code. So
that's
all I
and if you pull one out, it creates another problem.
Right.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I'm just saying they did. I cannot tell you what an amazing job they did. The game runs smoother. The game is running smoother now than the regular game was before the Wastelanders was put in. I mean, it's just amazing. So, hats off to the whole Bethesda crew that worked on Wastelanders. It is amazing. I can't imagine with the engine that Frankenstein engine that they're using. It's not an online engine. This is very layman talk, okay? But it's a offline engine and an online engine shoved together is what they're using in the first place. And wow, and they've made it work. And
well, look at it like this, okay? You've got an engine in a car, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can pull parts off of that engine and put other parts on it.
Yeah.
And still have the base engine, right?
Yeah.
But you can do different things to it to make that engine better. Still the base engine, you know what I mean? So you don't have to change the entire engine to make it better.
Yeah.
And that's something that the naysayers don't understand, is that that's how computer programming works. It's modular. You pull off a module and you put in a different module in its place.
Yeah.
And so. This game engine was not designed to be an online game engine, but guess what it is now?
It is now.
It's an online game engine.
It is now. But man, they did great. And as Mano was saying, it's mostly positive on Steam. And then Scott gave several other things on Google and on what were those other statistics you gave, Scott, about the reviews?
90%. We got a 90%. Thumbs up rating on Google for Wastelanders.
90%.
Now, this is for Wastelanders. This is for the actual Wastelanders
DLC.
Part. 90%, 4.5 star rating on Google, which is more than a lot of businesses have.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I mean, the place that I work at has like a 3.9 star rating on Google. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, Murph. It's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. So I'm excited. I really am. It's kind of like, hey, I like something. What? You guys are hating on this? Okay, I don't care if you don't like it. Leave me alone about it. Let me play my game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Go hate on something else, or go play your own game. Don't hate on my game.
Honestly, of course, I don't listen to the haters anymore, but I haven't heard many hate on it. So,
well, it's the thing that okay, fine. People don't like the game, the base game, the regular game, the first game that came out, 76. That's fine, great. It's not for everybody. I said that about Fallout 4. It's not for everybody. But if don't bring the hate to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Don't go somewhere else and play a different game. But now it feels good with all that after having survived a year and a half of hate, to see, hey, good for Bethesda, good for Jeff Gardner and his team for saying, hey, okay, we're actually going to listen to you. We're not going to give up. We're going to give our best shot at it. And we're going to give you this. Here you go, guys. And it's like, now the game that I'm playing, I enjoyed it before, but now I enjoy it so much better.
Absolutely.
Much better. And they really did a fantastic job. And it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. The only thing I had heard, and we went over it, so I won't beat a dead horse, but the only thing I had heard were people before it came out saying that they were gonna bomb it. And I think some did. There was an article that came out about review bombing it. I think there's some that review bombed it, but I actually heard from a couple of YouTubers that said they were going to do it, which really got under my skin. But that's all I had heard. But Joe, have you heard any negative things on Wastelanders?
I mean, you always hear bad stuff when it comes to 76.
Yeah. Since Wastelanders?
All the time. But since Wastelanders, there's nothing bad to say. Do you know why? Because it's just like any other Fallout game that we recently had. Any other modern Fallout game. It's exactly like that, maybe a little better. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's nothing left. There's nothing left to gripe about.
There's nothing to hate now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hate anymore.
Yeah.
They gave you what you
better
wanted.
than Fallout 4.
That sounds like a good title for a video. What's left to gripe about?
They literally gave you what you wanted. So what do you have to hate now? Now NPCs are back in the freaking game.
Kane,
what's there to hate?
Kane, you make an excellent point. Me and Joe actually get into that on our podcast that he's about to put out. Wastelanders has the best BGS dialogue system, maybe one of the best in gaming. That is an absolute fact. That is, yes. I am so glad you say that. Me and Joe really get into that. Joe, do you want to talk about that? Because we actually really get into that, but I'll let you speak to it.
About the dialogue options?
About the dialogue system.
It's incredibly deep. It's the deepest in any BGS game.
Jeff said it was going to be like Fallout 3, but it's better than Fallout 3 ever was.
It's the best.
Yeah.
They did a great job. And I love that when I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. But there's going to be a point when you have to talk to an object and then a nice dialogue box pops up and it says what you said to that object, and it's hilarious. I love that they added that in. It's great.
Yeah,
that's great, and it just excites me for what they are going to do in the future. By the way, our 76 podcast is going to go up on Monday.
Good,
good. And we actually have a Starfield podcast up right now.
Yes, y'all please go check out. Let me give a plug to both of you guys, but especially to that podcast. Y'all go check out Joey Caps's channel, please. If we have a moderator or anyone, I don't see a moderator on right now, but if we have a moderator on, please put up Joey Caps's link, or if somebody can. But we have a podcast on about Starfield right now, and then we've got one coming up on Wastelanders on Monday, and we get into that dialogue system and a little bit more in depth about Wastelanders. So please go check out Joey Caps. If you're not subscribed to him, please do. And then also Scott the Intruder Gaming as well. You got a channel as well, don't you, Scott?
Oh, well, yeah, it's really been a while since I've uploaded. Don't have a lot of time, but yeah, I've got a few things on there.
You don't know how. Come on, my darling. You can do that. You're now a moderator, so you can do it. I made you a moderator. Come on, darling. You can do it. Figure it out. See if my baby is savvy enough to do that. Joe, if you'll comment, your link will be up there.
Is that my channel? I don't know if I did it right. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, there he is. So y'all go subscribe to Joey Caps and check out our podcast. I always enjoy doing podcasts with Joe. Except for when he puts up bad pictures of me. He said,
"That was funny though. Come on, it was funny."
He says there's a different picture on this one. Y'all, please go check it out and see if it's a better picture.
There is a different one. There is.
Please go see if there's a better picture on that one. Okay. Please, please, please. Somebody said just a minute ago. I think it was. I'm sorry, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said there was people still putting down 76. I'm sure there's always going to be those haters back there that aren't going to try it, but we're not going to listen to them. I'm proud of what the team did, and I'm proud of the game, and I'm excited about what the future of Fallout 76 is now. And
Great.
I am excited for what the future of Bethesda is now because, and I'm talking about Bethesda as a whole, not just BGS now, because we've got, I think, hopefully Bethesda has at least dug themselves out of the PR hole they were in because they've got Doom Eternal now under their belts. They've got Wastelanders under their belts. And hopefully the next big thing is going to be, y'all say it, Starfield. Starfield.
Starfield.
And that should be a huge success as well. So
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
But I got to be honest that I'm excited to be done with this podcast. Not that I don't like the podcast, but I want to get back into Fallout 76 and play some more Wastelanders. Because today's my day off. I have a day off tomorrow, and I'm just going to spend a whole lot of time doing that.
Well, I am so glad you came on, Scott, though. I enjoyed you being on this podcast.
Well, I have been, as always, King, whenever you invite me on here, I really enjoy myself, and it's always fun.
King, do you know anything about them making private worlds persistent? Joe, do you know anything about that?
What does he mean exactly?
Yeah, can you elaborate,
Does he
Manos?
mean, like you keep your workshop after logging out, etc.
Oh.
I don't think so.
You can if you log out and log right back in, you do keep it for a certain time.
Yeah, but I guess he means when you log out for good and you log back in the next day, will it be up and running?
Now, I'm not sure. I haven't heard them. That's something. Oh, I'll look into that, Manos.
That would be ticket time. Put in a ticket at Bethesda.net.
I'll look into that. I'm not sure. I know right now it does do that for a certain time period in your private worlds. I'm not sure of the time period, but now I've logged back in, 5-10 minutes later and it's still there. But I don't know how long. Joe, do you have any idea how long it lasts?
I'm not sure, but if they stayed your workshop permanently, you could abuse that as a player because you could just constantly just have every single workshop and have it the turrets up and everything else, and you would have an abundance of supplies. So I mean, I'm not against it, but I could see players abusing it a little bit.
Yeah. And about mods, I knew somebody was going to ask about mods. The last time we heard about mods, they were really excited about it. In fact, Chris Myers was the one talking about it, and now he's not with the company anymore. He got him a better job. So no, he got a good job somewhere. I loved Chris Myers too. I hated to see him go. I think the problem, this is me talking, okay? This is not what Bethesda has said, but this is me talking. I think the holdup on mods is this. I think the holdup on mods is the hacking problem. This is my opinion, okay? The hacking problem is, in my opinion, keeping them from opening up the mods. Because you think about it, they have made their game so easy to mod over the years. That's why people can hack them. Bethesda has made their games so that we can mod them for years and years and years. And that's why people can do these duplication glitches and all these other things. Well, we're wanting Bethesda to crack down on the hackers, but we're also wanting them to open up the mods, Well, they're almost at odds with each other. Do you understand? I think they're going to have to crack down on the hacking and get that solved before they can open up the modding. I think the hacking is preventing the modding from opening up, in my opinion.
The engine is very moddable.
It's very moddable. It's too moddable.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
It's too moddable. That's the problem.
Hey,
Scott, do you want to? You probably know more about that, Scott. Do you want to talk to that? I think the engine's too moddable.
Okay, so mods are just basically like mini DLCs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it just registers it with the game, and then you put it in, and it puts it in the game folder, and then you put it in the load order, and boom. So you use the creation kit, and you can use the creation kit to make the world however you want it, like Fallout 4.
But am I not right? Is that not basically what they're doing with hacking?
That's exactly what they're doing. They're taking what they get from Fallout 4, and then they're basically changing it a little bit to use with Fallout 76, because the engine, ultimately, the client-side engine
is the same thing. Yeah,
Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
So the way it works. So Fallout 3 or Skyrim or Fallout New Vegas or Fallout, all those games. So
do you kind of agree with what I'm saying? They've got to get the hacking under control before they can mod.
It's got to be a lot different than Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be anybody can make a mod, whoever wants to. It's going to be like, okay, if you make a mod, you have to let us look at it. You have to let us go through it, type of thing. But they have to make it so that these people can't do the things that they're doing. Yeah. Running up and taking all your inventory or whatever,
Yeah. Modding obviously is going to have to be only on private worlds, but they've got to stop the hacking on the public worlds. And right now they can't do that because their engine is so moddable. But it's because they've done it for us all these years, and that's what's so aggravating. Bethesda has been so open and so nice to us, and I'm not talking about y'all and us, but we, the fans, are taking advantage of that by hacking it. That's what's so aggravating. These stupid fans are taking advantage of how easy Bethesda has made their game to mod, and they're hacking it, and that's so aggravating. And they're making it bad on all of us. So,
yeah, well, we'll see.
Yes, exactly, Kane.
It may just not be practical to mod this game.
It may not. But that's what's holding it up. If y'all are wondering what's holding up the mods, it's the hackers. And the hackers are holding up a lot, and that we got into something else there. But go ahead and give your shout out, Scott.
Well, my wife and my kids who have been sitting there.
Yes, absolutely. This. Yes.
So Hillary, my awesome wife, best mommy in the world, and Jack and Lily and Ruby.
Well, hello, wife and family, all of you. So it's Hillary, Jack, Ruby, Lily. Yes. Hey, guys. Well, hello to all of you, and thanks for sitting there and watching and being such
Jack's got a big smile on his face.
All right. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on. Thank you, Scott, as well. Thank you, Joe, for being on. We will have both of you guys back soon. And thank all of you for watching. And I may just be having a live stream in just a little bit. So y'all stay tuned because the King might be just right back on playing some Fallout 76. So y'all watch Twitter. I'll post it on Twitter in just a little bit. I hope y'all enjoyed this KingCast. Hopefully I'll be back home soon and we'll be giving away prizes. The Queen will be sitting by me again and we'll be back to normal with all this virus stuff gone. That'll be nice, won't it? Joe, you got anything left to say? You got any shout outs?
Just thank you for having me on, man. And Scott, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Joe. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Joe. Y'all go subscribe to Joey Caps and go watch that podcast. And we will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. Y'all have a great rest of the Saturday.
All right. Bye.